welcome to Let's Talk Recovery Equity, a series of conversations about how we can reach and help more people find freedom from addiction. This series offers us a space to reflect on some of the complexities of substance use disorders and other mental health conditions, and to consider new pathways to hope, recovery, and healing. I'm your host, Andrew Williams, the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the Hazelton Betty Ford Foundation, and I am the host of our series. And today, I'm honored to welcome our very special guest, Philip Robert, the founder of Blue Sage Healing. Hello, Philip. Welcome to our show. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, Shabbat Masma, how y'all doing today? I'm very honored and blessed to be here.
All right. Well, we are honored to have you as our guest and appreciate your time and presence with us today. I'd like to start off by just giving you a chance to introduce yourself to our audience today, to tell us a little bit about where you're from, your tribal affiliation, and tell us a little bit about your pathway to the healing work that you're doing with others at the Blue Sage Healing Centers.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm a grateful recovering addict. I'm dual diagnosis, mental health issues, challenges. I'm from Gila River Indian community. I'm Makima Oatum and White Mountain Apache from Stego Curve, 7 Mile. But I'm from Gila River. I come from Arizona, home of 22 federally recognized tribes, and one tribe striving for federal recognition, the Hiotchootam people from southern Arizona, the San people. First of all, I'm a volunteer, and also I'm a child of God, the Creator, and I thank Him for being here today. And I volunteer at Blue Sage. I'm a volunteer. I volunteer my time there. Help start with my boss, Kevin Molson from Naktu Flambeau. We're a native-owned and operated facility, and where I manage and facilitate traditional services such as sobriety, the talking circle, sweat lodge. I also bring in elders, medicine people, to come in and help our people heal and teach. And my source of passion comes from my own healing and understanding of where my intergenerational trauma comes from. You know, starting with the doctrine of discovery, the boarding schools, the loss of our river, the Gila River, and all that what it has brought to us, the trauma that has brought to us, you know, not built for our ancestors, not built to farm, and where that pain comes from not doing that. And also how I have learned to overcome my challenges in life. I want my other people to, my family, and when I mean family, the diaspora of tribes, because we belong to, our inner circles belong to other inner circles. And those circles belong to a bigger circle, which is called Indian country today, Indian country. So that's where my passion comes from. I want people to know where they can heal themselves. They can live life with freedom from drugs and alcohol. They can learn to manage their mental health. Yes, thank you.
No, thank you, Philip, for that introduction and giving us a sort of sense of your pathway into the healing work that you do, and how, you know, what's really fueled your passion for this work are your own lived experiences, moving through recovery, right, and bearing witness, right, to the impact of intergenerational trauma, of substance use disorder, among other issues, you know, on your communities there in Arizona and around the country. You know, I noted when I looked at your website that it says that in January 2020, the American Addiction Association declared that Native Americans would benefit from treatment with culturally sensitive programs, but that none were available. Your website then goes on to add, hey, Blue Sage is everything, right, that the American Addictions Association declared Native American communities needed. And I heard a little bit in your first response of introducing yourself and the work of Blue Sage. You spoke to what really kind of makes Blue Sage distinctive. Could you maybe unpack that a little bit, the origin story of Blue Sage Healing Centers, your role there that you've spoken to a little bit as a volunteer, and again, what are some of the distinctive healing modalities that you pursue?
Thank you so much. Yes, so we started with just 5 Native brothers and sisters who wanted to bring this healing to our people, and we have some little bit of means and ways to do this. thanks to Kevin Molson, our director and owner, and he allowed us to help with this. So like you said, in order for Native Americans to per study, right? In order for Native Americans to recover and prevent recidivism, right? Um, you have to be connected to your spirituality, be connected to your culture, and be connected to your community. Your spirituality, whether it be Christianity or any other religion, or traditional ways, be connected to their culture, right? Very important, because when you wake up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror. Who are you? You're an indigenous person, indigenous brother or sister, right? And also too, you have to be connected to your community. Where are you gonna go for your spirituality? We're gonna go for housing. Where are you gonna go get groceries? Are you going back to a little town back on the reservation or village? Are you gonna come back to Arizona? Do you want to stay in Phoenix or any other city? Get connected to that community. Where are you gonna go for your medicine man? Where are you gonna go for your Christian church? Your Muslim church or whatever. You got to be connected. So we asked our family. I don't like to say clients or patients. I have to say our family, because literally they're our family. We're all a lot of us are intermarried now, different tribes. And so a lot of times when they hear that drum, when they come into Blue Sage, they'll get smudged, hey, your sins are forgiven. You got to learn to start forgiving yourself. And start hearing that drum beat, boom, boom, boom. And a lot of times, sometimes when they first hear that, they come up from the streets, they want this. They're hungry for the smudging. They smell that. It smells like home. They hear that drum and they start crying. We have our staff there, the Indians and sobriety staff. It's almost a 40-year-old staff that's there. Every year somebody else gets it, and they see that staff. They see those feathers there that each tribe has put their feather on the staff, and they know that people are praying for them. That their prayers are with them. So that's very important. The ceremonies and all that encompasses love. Since time immemorial, we've been sitting in circles, talking circles, since time immemorial. And that medicine goes in a circle, because energy travels in a circle. When you light that smudge, the smoke goes in a circle. Our eyes are circles. Energy, it doesn't die, it goes in a circle. And so that medicine comes around and it helps us. Thank you.
No, Philip, thank you for giving us a window into some of the specific kind of dimensions, the different kind of expressions of the healing work that you and others do at the Blue Sage Healing Centers. And maybe to offer my own language onto it, what I hear, right, is that connectivity, right, is at the
Yes.
center. It's like sort of the thread that runs across all of your healing modalities, right, helping our Native American brothers and sisters get better connected to self, better connected to community and family as part of that, and to go deeper,
Yes.
and to build that connective tissue back to our cultural traditions. So I hear that
Yes.
thread of connectivity is really central to your different healing modalities, as well as, right, that radical ethic of care and love that I hear so strong in your voice and in your presence here today. And you mentioned
Yes.
in your response there, Philip, the centrality of smudging and the impact that smudging can have, right, as you come together in different healing contexts. And I noted in prepping for our interview that it looked like you were burning some sage. I'm wondering if you could
Yes.
help us to understand, what is the cultural significance of Blue Sage, which is the namesake, right, of the organization that you work with?
Well, Blue Sage is so these medicines that we use are nothing without the creator. We're symbolic people, right? So sage represents the forgiveness, purifying us, cleansing us that the creator gives to us. We just have to learn to forgive ourselves and move forward. The sweetgrass, also cleanses us, reminds us, of who we are. And the cedar symbolizes the providence the creator has over us, the protection he gives us, and how we are to also conduct ourselves with others, our family, everybody, not just the indigenous people, everybody. But over here, we teach Native American 101, which means being human 101, being a human being. And we have talking circles, we have an altar down, and we use the traditional medicine wheel, in which all human colors of the human race are represented. all people are all people are welcome. You know, we talk about the Africans, the Asians, everybody. We're all interconnected. You know, and this is what we do. Is this is what we're all human beings. We're all brothers and sisters, and this is what we do. We pray for everyone and everything. We start off with our, with the air we breathe, the water, our ancestors, the holy without their love, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't be here today. We connect them to the past and to the future and to the present, you know, and we pray like that. And I tell people when talking to them, I tell them to close their eyes, think of something that they love. Who's that they love? Can you hear them? Can you hear them talk? Can you smell them? Do you remember that emotion? You're not asking them now to close your eyes, to continue to close your eyes and pray for them. Send them love, because our prayers doesn't know no dimensions. It goes through time, you know, and they'll get the prayers, and they sometimes they'll cry, you know, and if they have passed on to the next life, then to move forward is to move forward. That's the only way we're going to see them again, not to go backwards, not to go backwards using drugs and alcohol or food or anything outside ourselves to make us feel better. Thank you.
No, thank you again, Philip, for really another rich response. And I think what really resonates for me as I listen to your response and reflect on it is your kind of really expansive sense of solidarity, right? And again, kind of echoing that the centrality of connectedness, right, to the healing work, the medicine that you offer, and this expansive notion, right, that moves across time and space, right, and involves,
Yes.
you know, reconnecting with the spirits of our ancestors who are around us and guiding us and supporting us. And at the same time, what I hear is this really beautiful, right, and powerful vision of like, hey, no matter what your tribal affiliation, you know, you're a brother and a sister, and you are welcome here at our centers, and even a sense of solidarity that goes beyond being Native American. And so that's some of what resonates for me in the answer you shared. And to build on that, I wonder if you could help our audience to get even a more clear picture of who are you serving? What are some of the demographics of the patients, those who come to you for healing and medicine? I get a sense you're in an area that's highly diverse in terms of very diverse tribal nations and other cultural communities as well.
Yes, we serve all 22 federally organized tribes, and actually we serve tribes that come from other parts of the country. But a lot of them come from the streets. You know, there's certain areas where our Native people hang out and they gather, you know, and they're just hurt, and then the bonding together, the bonding together, the trauma bonding they have there, they look after one another. But our people are dying. They're dying, you know, and it hurts us so much because also too we want to get into another subject, but we have a lot of these sober living homes that are not are treating our people very good at all. They're giving them all drugs and alcohol, all because of the money, right? And yeah, that's one of the challenges that we're facing is uh these homes. You know, they're not being regulated right correctly. You know, you have Medicare up here, right? And then you have these other insurances, right? Well, there's more policies, more procedures to get through these other insurances, right? But with American Indian Access, it's easier to make claims. That's why everybody's in the business of helping Native people, you know, and they want the money, you know, and they're doing everything they can. They're going to the reservation. They call them body snatchers. They're going up there and they're taking our people. And I just recently had another friend, sister. She got murdered, you know, trying to leave that one of those houses, got ran over, you know, and we got another sister that overdosed, and she can't move her body. She can only scream to communicate. Um, I've had so many people that have died. We have 4 years ago, Arizona decided to make a law to have a study to find out where our missing and murdered indigenous women are coming from. And what we're finding is that they're coming from these homes. You know, they're unregulated. There's thousands of them in just the Phoenix area alone, and they're trying to get their money. They're trying to like bring them in. They're giving them drugs. They're giving them money. You know, and also too, they're being trafficked there. I know personally of women who are being trafficked, sexually trafficked. You know, and making our job harder. You know, Blue Sage. You know, and because people they know they come to Blue Sage, they're gonna get your analysis tested. They're gonna get bag checked, right? And well, they always say, "Oh, Blue Sage, they're too strict. Why be you going with us sometimes when they can go over there to the places where they can get drugs they can use still?" Um, I'm sorry if I went off track a little bit with your question, but your answer, but that's I just want to bring that up.
No, Philip, not at all off track, and really do appreciate kind of some of the connections you're helping us to tease out, and particularly, right, how you've really helped us to encourage us to focus our attention on the exploitive dimensions, right, that
Right.
some organizations within our profession have with Native American communities. And I think you push us all to, right, critically think about what are some of the real motivations, right, behind the kind of expanding interest in serving Native American communities with more addiction and recovery services. And I really appreciate the ways in which you link, right, and push us to really critically interrogate that exploitive relationship and how that is intertwined with, right, this really significant issue around which there's been way too much silence in our society around missing and murdered Indigenous women, right, which is just one face, right, of the really high morbidity
And
rates.
really people too.
Yes,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
say more, please.
No, it's not just the women down. They're finding out we're having a lot of men going missing too. They because what they do, they get you get if a native person gets upset and informed, then and they cause trouble there, then just get out and they'll kick them out in the middle of the night, middle of nowhere, places where they don't know where they're at. And then they'll go back to drinking again. Maybe they're drunk, maybe they get in a fight, they get stabbed. There's a lot of people are at the morgue, county morgue, that they can't find who they are. And then there's some houses around area where there's human trafficking going on, sexual prostitution and stuff, and some of these ladies they get back into that, and you get we're a very very vulnerable population, very vulnerable, and so but that's why it's very important work that we're doing at Blue Sage. Very important work what we're doing there, and we have a family there, we really do. Um, we have good people there, and it's working. We're working, we also go to Millington Ranch. Um, and there on the Gila River Reservation where we work with animals, and help with the ranching work. There it goes there, the horses, right? You get to ride the horses, and a lot of our people they know about horses, they know about the animals, and the sheep and how to take care of them. And it's really connected to that, to the earth, to the land, to the animals. It's also helping them. So we thank you, Miss Lorraine Wellington. Thank you so very much for allowing us to come out there.
No, I appreciate you kind of helping us have a broader understanding, help us develop a broader picture, bigger picture of the diverse types of work that you're doing, and especially appreciate and really hear, right, your radical ethic of care, your personal sense of care, the organization's care, especially for the most vulnerable, and the ways in which you're helping us to more fully understand, at least begin to want to critically examine, some of these issues, the relationship between healing organizations, treatment organizations, and Native communities. I know you mentioned, right, that's one of the kind of the difficult, points in relationship is in these residential facilities. But from your website, it also looks like you're working with some diverse set of residential facilities to improve the
Yes,
quality of care that Native
yes,
peoples are
yes.
receiving. I wonder if you could maybe speak to that.
Yes, we have a core of residential homes that we approve that we actually go there and visit, and we go on contract with them. That we're allowed to go there anytime and to visit the homes. And we approve of them. We go through a process. And so we make sure that these homes are good to go when we send our people there. And these homes they allow their people to come, our family come here every 5 days a week, and they allow us to pick them up for events because not everything can be taught in the classroom. We like to go. We get invited to the Hopi dances in Hopi land, different parts of the Navajo Nation, um, all over Arizona, and also we like to harvest our own medicines, sweetgrass and different medicines we use to use in our ceremonies. Yeah, so that's what we do. So we just yeah, so we have a good working relationship with them. We know what homes not to work with. There's some homes that we looked at and no, we're not working with you. You know, uh, we get a lot. We know a lot of places where we're not supposed to be working with. Yeah, so we work with the good homes that we approve of. Thank you.
No, Philip, thank you. And it's good to learn about that work and and to know that, right, that you are working in partnership to establish some alternative, right, treatment kind of residential experiences that really push back against some of the more exploitive kind of practices of other facilities. You know, our time is moving much too quickly, and I wish we had a lot more time, but I'm going to move us toward closure with just a couple more questions. And one
Yes.
is, as you think about some of the positive impact that you've had on the community, and some of it's really apparent in what you shared with us already, but is there one or two stories of healing, of recovery that really resonate with you, or is perhaps, you know, a partnership, an ally that's really stepped up for Blue Sage to help you advance your mission? Could you speak to one of
Well,
those?
yeah, well, I seeing our people move forward with their lives, because we don't want them to be stuck at Blue State. We want them to move forward with their lives, you know, and do go on and create other healing places. They're going to work, you know. I love to see, we have a lot of good examples of people moving on with their life and doing good with their lives, you know. And I love to go, we did a couple of videos. One lady we did, sister we did, she's from Hopi Land. She went to Shamopavi village, and we went there. We did a video testimony, you know, and she had all her family, her kids. They loved on her, you know, and to see that reunification of family, that's the best.
Yes.
When fathers and mothers can come back to their families, you know, get that visitation, start working on that road to becoming a full-time mommy, a full-time daddy, you know, being with them in court, you know, seeing them from not having any visitation to get that 1 hour visitation, 2 hour, their weekends. You know, I just love to see families come together. It's, in general, just that's what really, it's about family, you know. And we
Yes.
start a family atmosphere at Blue Sage.
No, thank you, Philip. And in some ways, in answering that question, you answered another question I was going to ask, which is, you know, what's this relationship between individual and community healing? And I think you just named it, right? That family is that bridge, right, between individual and community healing.
Yeah, because when we do the circle, we do ourselves, you know. The healing, the hurt of one is the hurt of all. The healing of one is healing of all, as we say about variety,
Mm.
you know, and so that's, we pray for everybody, and we do to the circle, we do to ourselves. So that goes includes hurt and healing also. So we're trying to create more healing, more positivity. We'd love to hear the people laugh. There's nothing better than hearing a Native person laugh or anybody laugh. That internal exercise, you know, and it makes
Yes.
us laugh, you know, and smile. And that's what we're all about at Blue Sage, you know.
Yes, no, I'm a firm believer, right, in the medicinal power of laughter as well. As
Yes.
we move toward closure, Philip, I'll ask you the question that we ask all of our guests in our Recovery Equity series, which, if you could, what would you, maybe some words of counsel, of advice, some words of care for anyone out there in our Native communities or even beyond who are struggling with substance use, substance abuse, and or have family or friends who are, what's maybe some words of wisdom you have to share with them?
I got the perfect words from my elder, Al Pooley, for NAFA, Native American Fatherhood and Family Association. I don't care what you've done in your life. Uh, Take a deep breath. You have purpose. That's purpose. You are worth more than your worst mistake. You are worth more than your worst mistake. I don't care what you've done. The fact that you're still here breathing, the creator hasn't allowed the world to take you out yet. You have purpose. You are worth more than your worst mistake. Thank you.
No, thank you, Philip, for that last statement and words of care. To all of you listening or watching today, I want to express my authentic gratitude for you taking the time to join us for this very important conversation. And Philip, thank you very much for sharing your wisdom, experiences, and tremendous insight. We are so grateful for your advocacy and the life-changing work that you do every day. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you very much. And it's everybody has helped me. I want to acknowledge everybody who's helped. We're all interconnected. Thank you.
Thank you. And to everyone out there, please let your friends and colleagues know about these important conversations. And come back often to catch more episodes of Let's Talk Recovery Equity. Together, we can build a healthier, happier, and more equitable tomorrow. Thank you.